That was a shitty clap. Good evening, everyone. This is the first Craftocracy leadership meeting, as far as I'm aware. Tonight, I am joined with all of the other party leaders, excluding APC, who is mysteriously absent from this meeting. I am the leader of Squid. Would the rest of you like to introduce yourselves and your parties? Somebody talk, please.
Okay. Hello, I am Pentagonal, former leader of the Armored Party and former Battle Royale and concurrent leader of Reform MC. And today I am proud to be a part of this meeting where we will discuss the future, present, and the challenges we may face and of the server, and I hope we can come to common agreements on some things that we should do for the future of the server.
Hello,
I am.
Oh,
Go ahead. It's fine.
hello, I'm Sky Shatter Industries, and today I'm here to talk about some of the issues of the server regarding crafting industries and modding for the current time being, along with legislative parties and certain ideas I'd like to bring up for this for the server.
I am Atlas, leader of the BLU, Builders League United, and I hope we can today establish some additions and agreements that will benefit both of us and all of us economically and in our infrastructures.
I'm the leader. I'm Fox. I'm the leader of the NBF, and I'm here to discuss modding along with public infrastructure works. Yeah.
Is that all of us?
I think so. Unless the APC wants to make a mysterious entrance.
No. I don't think they're gonna join.
The APC is being excluded from this meeting. All right, so I wasn't paying attention. What are our topics for tonight? What are we? You want to start on the whole border crisis, or?
That would probably be a good idea.
All right. Anyone want to open us with that?
Border crisis in terms of the zinc situation, right?
Yes.
Yes.
Well, yeah, zinc, Gale said before that zinc is within the zinc is generating outside of a road border and we have no access to it. And while our first solution was to implement a crafting recipe, I believe that we should just increase the road border by either 200, 300, or maybe 400 blocks just so we can gain zinc access, because zinc is basically as common as copper and there's like no downsides, so just slightly increasing the road border by a smidge to get access to it.
To add on, zinc is one of the most useful. Jesus Christ, my list. One of the most useful resources in the crate mod being the alloy created for brass, which is used for at least around 40% of all crafting recipes.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, brass is incredibly integral to doing anything with Create, so it's really important that we get zinc added back to the server.
I agree, and I support the idea that we should just simply increase the world border, because I think adding a crafting recipe would slightly change the balance of Create as is, which frankly I don't think that's a really good idea. So I think the best idea is, yeah, to increase the world border, give players a little bit more space, and also allow us to get zinc the way that it was intended to be received. Which is my name.
I agree with all of that. I think that I've seen screenshots of like zinc generating beyond the world border, so like literally we do not have to go like further like at all than like 200 blocks. I don't think there's any potential downsides. That's all I really have on the matter.
I also think it's a wise idea to expand the world border in hopes of eventually, like, I don't believe that there are any hot biomes within the expansion area, but getting some actual like hot biomes within the world border would be great to get eventually. Because as of now, I believe everything we have is either a temperate or a cold biome.
Yeah, I agree. The only question I want to raise is how much do we want to raise the world border? Like, I proposed either 200, 300, or 400, but I heard other people in VC propose 500, and some lunatic even proposed 1,000, which is kind of insane, but we should probably come with an agreement of how much we should expand the world border by.
I personally believe maybe a boundary in between 250 and 500 could be a good idea. It allows like a lot of room for zinc to generate along with other certain tendencies. Like there's also the other blocks which allow some recreational farms such as Crimsonite being a really good source for iron and such. So if we can expand these resources to a larger degree, I feel like it would be a great idea. Along with that, we can't expand the border too much. One, due to it causing issues with the server, and two, if we were to add another mod such as Alex's
Well,
Caves or
wait.
another
Well,
biome
the
mod,
problem the problem with that is that the chunks have already been pre-genned. So, if we were to add more mods, it would not work anyway.
oh, okay. But still, I
Also,
feel like a too large of an expansion could be.
border performance also will not be affecting performance at all.
I thought it. I was more or less under the presumption that the server may go in downtime if that were to happen.
Don't not for border expansion. That's just a simple command.
Okay, that works.
Yeah,
I have,
yeah,
like,
I support the
numbers, I
idea
think.
of CC. I support the CC's
Oh.
idea. I think it's honestly just
yeah.
What's up?
Okay, so currently the border is 5,000 by 5,000. The highest coordinate you can get from any direction is 2,500. I just checked on my journey map that. So I think that it's probably fine to expand the border to like 5,400 or 5,500 because that's like 250 more blocks in any direction, which is more than enough for all the materials while keeping the increase like pretty minimal, I think.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
agree.
that could be. That could. Um. Okay, moving to another topic now that we've discussed zinc. I did want to bring up a mod which I believe would be relatively useful for the server is okay. So the only issue with it is we would need to generate new chunks for it, and I'm not sure how
which
it
we
would
already
work
are with
considering.
border expansion.
Yeah. The only problem is if we don't have a hot biome available to us, it will limit the amount that we can. Uh, do we have this mod? We do. Okay. No, we don't. Do we? What is this? More food. I was thinking farmers. That's an
Yes.
option.
I support that.
Farmers, I
And-
honestly support the removal of more food in favor of Farmer's Delight.
I would agree. Farmer's Delight is much more well polished, in my opinion.
And
And
plus-
another mod I wanted to bring up before we get into discussing is create big cannons. It's more of a riskier option due to its griefing potential, but it can be extremely complicated to set up for a lot of people. So I feel
Definitely.
like if we wanted
I
to, now that
think
we have
that
crate on the server, a removal of TNT as I originally proposed in the presidential debate would be used. It's like if we have another griefing opportunity or something that can cause damage, and we have like solutions that dealt with TNT farms and the needing of them, that being crate, I feel like crate big cannons can not only solve the TNT issue and the easy, very easy in fact, griefing, because it is so easy to just kill a couple creepers in one night, grab some TNT, and put it in like a little cube and it's tripwire bomb someone's entire home. With great cannons, it at least takes setup and prior knowledge. Exactly.
Okay, I want to chime in. So on
Mhm.
the aspect of Farmer's Delight, I do believe that we should remove the More Food mod. I believe that it is extremely underwhelming. I originally campaigned for it as a member of the APC, I think, and I said stuff about hamburgers, and it turns out it's made by a fucking Brit. They call it chips crisps, and they don't even have American food. And I think Farmer's Delight is just much more polished, and we should go with it. My argument for create cannons is I'm kind of iffy, because first of all, I don't really know what much it does, but like, are you proposing like a ban on TNT on TNT or what? I'm trying to get like a grasp of it. Or
Well,
did that just complete?
if we were to want to cause damage, and along with that, crate cannons can be made to make some really cool farms and builds just due to its blocks itself. Um, I feel like if we have another option for explosions and griefing, the need for TNT is going to be brought down to a degree. While TNT is really easy to get, it also allows us to remove TNT or put high limitations on it to get rid of certain aspects of griefing. And while yes, on server the owner can easily revert a griefing change, it is most likely still and will be a pain for the person that got grief and to roll back the server for a few minutes. I just find it much more accessible if we had a better solution to TNT than just we just have it, and another griefing option or another just explosive option could be a lot better. Plus, I think Crate Cannons is a really well put together mod with a lot of cool aspects to it. And if some people want to do story on the server, just for the people
Which
that
there
are
are.
interested in that. Hmm?
Which there are.
Yes, like me, Fox, and a few others, which I haven't met
Me,
or I haven't
me
been told that they're
included.
interested in server. You included, my vice president over there.
Mhm.
Um, Crate Cannons is a great way to set up actual griefing and very dramatic scenes, which you never know. What it like, for example, I could propose a scene, uh, someone's base is getting completely griefed by an opposing team,
I
with,
mean, I feel like
consent
I feel
to
like the only thing
the
that
race.
needs to be I feel like the only thing that needs to be said is that I feel like having a giant barrel of a humongous cannon pointing at the sky and shooting a bomb is much more cinematic than a little TNT cannon.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I want my giant train that has a massive
With
cannon on it.
yeah.
yeah,
I think
that
explosions are funny.
I
yeah.
I'm kind of split 50-50 because I want to approve create cannons, obviously, but I feel like we should not go to the extent of banning TNT. I think if you do add the limitation of sorts, it should either be like a advanced crafting recipe which overrides the original, if that's even possible. But I don't think we should just out TNT, just
Well,
maybe make it more harder to access.
if we add
Actually,
CubeJS to the server, we can do recipe modification like that. Because that's CubeJS's primary purpose is recipe modification. Um, it can also do things like adding in custom blocks or fluids, and
oh, I wanted to mention there was a very specific thing for Crate Cannons. So on the server, I've noticed there is a lot of fires, and with Crate Cannons, I believe in the newer versions, there is a water jug shell type that can launch at least 8 blocks of water to clear an area of fires. And I thought that would be a really good solution to certain fire groups. Just set up
I
a
support
room
that.
like an automated cannon that detects fires in the area and can launch this cannon to put out those fires. Just a little automated system to preserve the environment, I believe.
I actually want to add on to that. Reform
Hmm.
NC has a plan called the Emergency Services Act, and what we benefit this act is setting up like a fire department with all the materials needed to put out fires in the instance of a wild forest fire, like all the mobility items needed, and maybe in the worst case scenario, we can have like a emergency peen roll for those who volunteer. And just because I've dealt with a lot of wildfires, and I've gotten really lucky when I was handling with them because it's hard raining. There will be a time where there's a wildfire, which it won't start. And I do believe that those water cannons can really help, but we should really have like a district, like just something in the back burner, just in preparation for a really big fire, and work together as a server to get that solved as quickly as possible.
Hmm. All right. Well, that's the end of my discussion for modding on the servers now. Sure, there are some other things I'd like to bring up, but I I want to bring these mods up, but I feel like they're a little too extreme for how I've envisioned the servers so far. But to add one more mod, just to everyone's mind, it's more of an add-on to create. That would be
We can
to
if you have a
crossover.
long list, if you have a long list, we can kind of do rapid fire of just votes if we support or don't support them.
I have mods I would like to
Better.
bring up, but you all talk first.
No, sorry.
Okay, I could go over
I
that right
asked
now.
mods.
Okay.
Just so you know, most of my past experience has been with Forge due to lack of experience. So when I name these off in a moment, continue just one last thing to Pen. Um, you're just gonna have to tell me, and we'll do our research after this meeting. So first of all, Pen, I wanted to bring up when it comes to those limitations I brought up on TNT. Blaze powder is an explosive material that is aggravating to hit at times. What if instead of the gunpowder in TNT, which gunpowder is a really heavily used resource simply due to these,
Yeah.
and along if we add great cannons as well. What if we replace the gunpowder in TNT for blaze powder, putting a high limitation on it, and clearing everyone's inventory and chests of TNT?
I'll be fine with that.
Okay.
That's a
Well,
good
would you like?
in between
Mm-hmm.
deal.
Yeah. So, do you want me to name off these mods real quick?
Sure, but we should probably do rapid fire because I want to bring something up in regard to one of the Fox's ideas, which I want to debate on.
Okay. If any of them just gather your interest, then let me know. A lot of these are add-ons to major mods themselves, so, and I'll try to avoid the ones that I know aren't on. Okay, so, first of all, corpses, which isn't needed. Create the cannons, which I brought up. Create crafts and additions. Create connected. Create estrogen. Create garnish. That isn't not enough animations to be a good add-on. Something map for lower sophisticated map. Alex's mobs itself, that's available. Alex's caves itself, that's available. Uh, create armory in some regard. Miskin things. Create slice and dice to collaborate with farmers delight. Create copycats plus for builders. Create interiors. Create new age due to its easier dynamics. Enchantment descriptions. I think we have that. I'm not sure. And and along with pandas falling trees, or just a falling tree mod and or excavation mod, along with certain mouse tweaks and waystones. A lot of the problems I've noticed on the server can be dealt with in these mods, but it's more or less just up to not my decision, up to everyone else's decision. I'm simply here to bring interest to them.
On the topic of waystones, I think the use of trains and create would be a more fun method than having waystones, at least.
Well, yes, they would be, but theoretically, theoretically, there could be a possibility that someone puts their base at one end of the map for, well, zinc, and someone puts it at the extreme opposite of the map for also zinc, and they want to make an agreement. It'd be much better maybe to have a limited waystones that are given out to presidential members with an impossible crafting recipe and not being able to be found, or an extremely heavy crafting recipe, possibly
Well, that
containing netherite or such, to disallow the spamming of them.
If I'm being honest, I feel like the mod rapid fire should be saved more so for legislative meetings so we can go more in depth before we vote.
I still have something I
Yeah.
want to bring up because I've said like 3 things this meeting. So
Okay.
Go ahead.
okay, well, 2-second prompt. All right, what do y'all know about cooking for blockheads?
Almost
one with
nothing.
Almost nothing.
It's like a fridge. I think it's cool. Anyway, what do y'all know about Ad Astra? Space
Oh,
and shit.
it's a very cool space mod.
Cool.
I saw a bit of it.
Excuse me, I'll be right back.
I don't got a lot to say about it, but I love space. I think building in space would be cool. Would it do a lot for the server? I don't know. Probably not, because like 3 people have the resources for it. But it'd be a cool end game thing, I think. personally.
Ad Astra is a very interesting mod because it does allow. It's a very futuristic mod, and I'm not sure that it even fits the server's general themes. It does make the sky incredibly beautiful. Night sky is very much beautiful with Ad Astra, but I'm not sure that it fits the topic, the theme. I would love to add it. I would love to add it, but I'm
There's
not sure that
apparent.
it fits.
What is our theme?
Um,
Okay, audience, which is 2 people. What is the server's general
Okay.
theme?
In your opinion,
Politics. Okay.
space is
Question
like a
from
maybe.
the
A
question
question
from the audience. Okay. I misread that. I mean, no, I didn't
Politics.
misread that. Okay.
We should be red and blue themed, and also have a loud woman yelling at us to collect briefcases.
Right.
Okay, well, I think
That's a
space
TO2
fits perfectly
reference.
into politics and shit. Okay, because Kennedy
No,
space race type shit.
Well, I think that the general thematic of the server is more 1970s, close to Earth.
Rockets were invented
I'm not
in the
against it.
60s,
I'm
but-
just not sure. True. I'm just not sure that it really fits with all of Ad Astra's hyper-futuristic additions like solar panels and space stations and et cetera, so on and so forth.
After
I-
the meeting,
Yeah.
I think Ad Astra is more so of like a something we should add later down the service life cycle than earlier. I think
Yeah.
it's going to be more beneficial if it's later.
Yeah. I agree.
Oh, but what if we like use like Craft Tweaker to like make all the recipes like hella expensive, so it was like a status symbol of like a wealthy party to have shit in space. Would that
I
be
feel
kind
like
of
that just makes. I feel like that just kind of removes the fun of the actual mod and making you grind for what's.
not like a
resourced,
grind, but like
all that much.
not like high amounts of materials, but like late game, whatever. But we can talk about it later. But
You could
I'm
increase
a
the prices of the crafting benches, for example. Actually.
oh yeah, like
That would
the
be a good
NASA
idea.
workbench I think could just be
Yeah. Well, the
Let-
details would
it's
have to be
kinda
talked
free
about
already.
later, but generally I support the addition of Ad Astra.
I think I like planets and shit. Like I want to build a base on Mercury. That's all this man wants, you know.
Well, personally, I support it. I just think it needs a little bit of rebalancing. But
Probably not like not like next legislative meeting, but like later. I'm gonna build the most beautiful base you've ever seen. Just trust.
Pent said you wanted to discuss one of my ideas, I believe.
Yeah. So in the initial debate, you mentioned adding an idea concept of a state system.
Yes.
Now, I am kind of in support of a state system, but I believe we should perfect it in the oven. We should cook it in the oven before we try to pass it. So could you elaborate on that, and how would we define how we define people's lands? Like, how do we define who owns what? Because I may have some feedback for that.
Well, basically, you would submit, the territory that your team is wanting to claim, or that you as an entity are wanting to claim, and then that would be reviewed by a board, and then it would either get passed and put onto an official map, or it would be returned to you for modification.
Well, I'm kind of mixed on this because I believe we shouldn't be able to claim empty land. I believe the way we should define states is like basically, for example, the APC, they build stuff. I feel like the more they build, then the more land they can grab, and maybe just have like a small amount of land around them, like which they can have by default. But I don't think they should just claim large amounts of land. They should probably have to you have to expand by building out, and so you can't just like claim a bunch of land that you didn't even touch. That's just my take. Obviously, the board seems like it's gonna help with that, but it's just my take. I feel like we should just claim land by building first instead of just claiming shit.
Well, we could also have states built around geographical regions, which then can either be modified or claimed wholly by groups if they manage to obtain a level of presence that the council would deem fit for them to own the territory?
Well, I can see that. Like, for example, BF is in a mountain, so obviously they should have say of a mountain, and PC space has like a really dense and varied forest, so say over that forest.
Yeah.
But what I'm mainly worried about is just like, let's say little Jimmy, he just into the middle of nowhere is a big stretch of land, and you just claim it. Well, there's the case that something does go wrong and someone builds a house for it. If someone builds a settlement or a building in someone else's state without proper permission, like what punishments will they face, if none at all?
I think we should split the map into different sections and states owned by different parties in the process of course, another vote/meeting. And I think we should use a sort of plugin/mod for chunk claiming, where we can have little pop-ups of you entering different states appearing, and we can decide who owns which parts again in a vote, possibly even using real-life methods of creating borders, so using lakes and mountains, etc., and biome differences to create said borders. If anybody objects, maybe. No.
I built like hella pixel art of like fucking Rouser and shit, so whatever legislation makes sure those don't get touched, I'm chill with.
Can you make Rouse a cube next?
Rouse like cube.
Yes.
I think we're getting off topic.
Maybe.
I think we're
That's
getting off
probably-
topic. Back to the point. I also. Oh, fair enough.
Everyone loves Rouse.
Of course.
Okay.
Yeah, you need to make cubes.
I commissioned this one.
I also have
What?
a
Oh.
few. I also have a few a mod. Generally, one mod I want to suggest right now, which it would be generally any furniture mod. I also wanted to suggest Farmer's Delight, but it was already suggested. But I want to suggest a furniture mod, at least one, because currently the server generally lacks any options in terms of decorations.
Yeah, I see.
You could say. Sitting on literal slabs over here.
I'll let anyone respond to
I-
here, but I want to respond to Viscosity's statement after you guys have a turn.
I have comments on front.
No. It's
anyone
not.
else to
It's
speak
not.
in.
I don't. No. It would simply be like land borders. Not. It wouldn't block you from anything. It's more like to understand who owns what land. So you know, if a different party has a massive operation on a different party's piece of land, well, they can probably create a political dispute about that, and chances are one of the parties would probably either get the land or get the project for themselves that was built already.
The way I see it, it's probably more of like a lore adjacent thing than a literal gameplay mechanic that blocks you from doing
Yes.
stuff.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's more lore adjacent.
Okay, I'm content on that then.
Can I talk about furniture? Or
Yes.
Yep.
okay, so I'm a fiend for furniture mods. Like all the little mods that add all the little details and shit. I love that. Cause I've been trying very hard on my house, but there's like only so many like cool things you can do with the vanilla blocks. I don't know. My favorite thing to do is just making like the cozy like living rooms and bedrooms and shit with all the like fucking Rousei art, and the Martlet art, and more of the Rousei art. Especially because I can like go into VR and just watch like shit on the TV in Minecraft. You know, it's really cool, and I think that furniture mods would significantly enhance my experience with the server personally. I'm sure that someone else could like, I don't know, concur with that, perhaps.
Personally, I have to say, I think it's just like twinks, and those twinks being cozy environments, to be honest. For
Right.
that argument.
Look at the shield.
Wait, what did you say,
Very
CC?
pretty.
I'm pretty sure it's not. It's just like twinks.
I mean, that's true.
That,
Yeah, it's not. It's not really
my
like a
point
thing I
being,
try. I like Twinks, but none of them text me back on Insta. Like, this dude, like, it's,
Oh,
This is
poor
very
Tony.
on topic.
I'm very
Well, my
sad.
point being, there is a glaring lack of decoration mods, and the server is honestly kind of lacking. And as CC said, there is a genuine issue. Not being really able to decorate your own homes. I literally own a bar. I cannot put anything there because I can't put any shelves, any chairs, any tables in that, anything. I've been using fucking Create Depots for a table substitute.
Yeah, I believe everyone here.
This is not a
come
good
to the
table.
common.
That's actually tragic.
I believe everyone here will come to a common agreement that a furniture mod will obviously pass unanimously.
Yeah, yeah.
So,
Nice.
I heard you guys talk about Ad Astra
Uh,
earlier.
I probably need to talk about that in chat. Okay, so
Oh.
it's been like forever since I've hosted the modded server and I had to deal with this shit, but there is there's a limit on like how much like unique furniture shit we can add because of the RAM, but there's new RAM coming, allegedly.
I think generally
Right.
more than 2 or 3 furniture mods is just excessive.
New computer, okay.
Yeah.
How much?
Generally, I think anything more than 2
Uh,
or 3 furniture mods is just not needed.
I'll be right fast.
I think
Right
the
back.
more furniture mods you have, the better, because you have more variety and like.
Well, of course, but
shit.
I think
You can do
much more
crazy
than, like,
shit, but-
yeah, but again, more than 3 is just kind of excessive because you just start
What?
getting clutter
We should make a train.
and
Oh.
Okay, wait,
I don't
before
know,
you go,
I
do you have
probably-
iron?
I guess-
realize I don't have any. And Gale
The
doesn't
way I
have
see it is I'm sort of like a
any of them
maximalist
up
when
here.
it comes to like adding
Show
new
me
mods
real
and shit. But also there are people probably disagree with that, and there are RAM limitations, which I am looking up right now. How many furniture on a client? That's what,
What's your party member?
that is a good
this-
ass ID. That's a
Is
good
it
ass
this
question.
thing?
I would have to like do some testing on that.
Well, I think we should add at least
wait,
one
does
for now,
she
and
have-
consider adding more later on later elections and
Okay.
discussions.
I will say though, the
Yeah.
Corsair Vengeance RGB Pro SL DDR4 RAM 32 gigabyte is currently on sale for 25 off on Amazon. But
Understandable.
it's in white
okay,
and it has
so
very pretty colors on it.
I
Yes,
earlier,
exactly.
before I had to go for a moment. So I heard the mention of Ad Astra and how it doesn't really fit the service thing. Well, as we're adding these industrial and tech mods, and I also have a warship in my hand, I feel like the server is going into more futuristic direction as we add more mods and more builds to put on the server. So at the current moment, yes, I do agree that it shouldn't be added. That it shouldn't be added for now. I believe in the future it could be a really good addition, just due to the evolving prolapse of the server.
And honestly, we could probably have a lower reason for certain mods not being added or being added because I feel like we're currently in a somewhat industrial revolution era on the server chronologically, as pointed out by Pent and Vis. With our construction of the drill, we basically entered an industrial revolution with raw resources being abundant, given I've been here for 2 days. Marcy, give that back. But having a space revolution right now would be somewhat out
would be a
of
bit
place. Yeah,
It
but
would go
later,
to-
definitely. I agree that for later on, it's definitely a worthwhile addition. It's a great mod, but just not right now.
Okay. So, speaking of create add-ons or just mods in general, there's one mod that I feel like should be a necessity to add, and I personally don't think I'm gonna have any opposition when I bring this up. We should add create estrogen.
I support
Is-
that fully.
It is literally anyone. Shut up, viscosity.
That's just
This your
sad.
hand. Because you do not have a say on this. I support Create Estrogen.
Okay, I'm gonna pay.
But partially for general representation, partially for the
Actually, that
abilities,
might be
partially for
enough.
its loot and general mobs as well. I actually am in the Create Estrogen Discord server and know the owner and so on and so forth. And yeah, I support the addition of that mod. Frankly,
Yeah, I
as,
used to be in there
a
too.
lot of items. Yeah, it adds. Well, we don't talk about it. Chi-Chi is in it, I believe. It also adds thigh highs, yeah, etc. So on and so
Oh!
forth.
I am a full supporter of this now. All of a sudden, I've decided that this is one of my top issues.
There's also. Don't
It
worry,
allows you to
this
grow
is fine.
boobs.
Yeah.
I think I will maintain a 50-50 approach to this, and I will make up my mind during the legislative meetings after everyone has their speech on why it should be added, because the speeches are more
They have
complex,
cute.
so I will just...
You had me at thigh highs.
They have cute fuzzy moths.
Yes, fuzzy moth.
And they have a bunch of
been that
Celeste
tarantula
references
guy.
as well.
This is essentially unanimous. I think that's four out of 6. I believe.
So, I thought, hold on, I have to shoot.
I believe there's a 4 out of 6 yes for Create Estrogen, so I think it will be added. I also wanted to propose the certain bill somebody wanted, and generally I also want, which is for alcoholic beverages and such. They would be fitting, again, chronologically, and they also do add a lot of atmosphere, because currently on the server we drink nothing. And they would generally be nice because they would allow for some recreational properties on the server. I am slightly biased because I own a bar, but you know, that's detail. But I think they would just generally be nice because they would not only work as mixed potions like resistance and strength, but also nausea, so on and so forth, like beer. They would also, again, just generally work as nice recreational things where you can go sit somewhere with your friend and just, you know, drink a beer or a vodka. They would also, again, help for different forms of lore and roleplay to occur with alcohol.
This is from biased experience and personal experience. I am highly against that. And this is a server filled with mostly children,
But it's
along
fun.
with that, with a
But it's not
child
like- yeah,
audience
but it's
as
fun.
well.
But
Yeah,
it's
but it's-
fun.
But it's
It's
funny.
not like
I
drinking
love
virtual beer
alcoholism
is gonna get...
side.
I know
It's
plenty of teenagers that drink. Okay, like
It's
not
not
a
gonna
good
get-
thing, though.
And they're reading
It's
the
not
stream
like
chat.
virtual beer
indeed.
in the Minecraft server would cause a kid to changing
it's-
6 posters and get hangover. That's not gonna
Just
happen.
specifically for my own
Yeah.
morals and personal views, I am in high disagreement, and I believe
That
there are
is a
better
fair-
alternatives.
That's that crack cocaine!
Still,
That's
it's just over
fair,
my
well,
personal
okay.
beliefs and such.
I'm just saying, I'm not against alternatives. If we can find alternatives, I am not against it. But currently, I have not found any. If you can find or suggest any alternatives, that would be
You know-
appreciated. We will definitely look into them. But currently, as it stands, it would seem that people are not against any alcoholism or beer mods.
Pent is
Gale seemingly isn't as well.
Pent is awfully close to Fent. Is this a coincidence? I think not.
I think not, but who knows? We just have to wait and see on next episode of Dragon Ball Z.
You know, the plan for you, Pen, is I'm gonna hit you with a giant laser and see if you become normal. That's the plan.
Penta, give me your gun.
I don't have a gun. Oh, yeah.
Damn it,
you
Marcy, give me your gun.
with the Batman
Why?
It's in my
looking
backpack.
skin.
Trust.
I want to say I fuck heavy with your armor trim color. That's all I got.
Okay, that's all. I also wanted to say, there have been a few thoughts, mainly about Spawn. Spawn is currently a fucking mess.
Hey.
Well,
Don't get me wrong, it's pretty, but it is mainly dirt buildings and has
That's
some messy
the
spawn locations.
I'm pretty sure
I
that's
just
the
think-
point of Spawn.
yeah.
but
Yeah, those
it's
are
ugly.
historic buildings.
No, I'm not
Still
saying we
ugly.
should destroy it. I'm not saying we should destroy it.
Wait,
but
is
I'm
that
saying
rock?
that
Wait,
it might be.
Wait,
Yeah.
wait.
I'm just saying that it might be a good idea to possibly create a slightly different spawn and move the world spawn point there. So keep the old spawn as a historical landmark, but have the actual spawn be, not a lot of dirt huts.
That's been the
giant
plan
dirt
for like
wall.
a long time.
The buildings that spawn are supposed to be dirt that way.
So, other thing I think worth bringing up is I think that the legislative area could be made sexier. I think we all collectively did a pretty good job improving it last time with the better seats and the carpets and shit, but also, like, indoor area would be cool, my opinion. Probably wouldn't be too crazy to build, either. And probably not as contentious as changing spawn, so, yeah.
Anyways, when y'all are done with this, I want to propose something which actually has been proposed by the APC and mainly Domino, because I believe there's some major benefits. I believe we should take moderation, like small scale moderation activities, away from the legislative meetings and make like a court of open scene in the first and second debate. But the main premise is that we take moderation, small moderation activities, and it basically works just like regular legislative meetings. People give their cases, people give their counter cases, then they vote, and then the majority, if they get a majority, then yes. If they don't, we get cock-blocked. I believe that with a court, we can host it at any time. It will be shorter than regular legislative meetings, and we don't have to worry about having to wait through like 5 mock proposals before getting into any moderation activity. Obviously, large-scale moderation activities will be decided by the council, but I believe with smaller-scale ones, we can be more efficient and get it done faster and get it done more calmly instead of having to wait for a legislative meeting. That's just my point of view.
Yeah, on that note, on smaller meetings, it was proposed that for the president to be able to hold emergency meetings with consent of at least 3 out of all of the party leaders, I believe that it might actually be somewhat of a good idea to have a possibly non-physical meeting channel of sorts where party leaders and such other important officials can actually decide on certain less important managerial and irrelevant decisions as such moderation decisions as were just mentioned.
Okay,
That's
so
science.
speaking of moderation, I've been wanting to bring this up since my debate. I didn't really get an opportunity to. So I feel as if there is a lot of things that we want to manage. There is economy, there is building, there is events, there is legislation, and now there's moderation. And conveniently, there's enough parties here to take care of each one of those goals, whilst having the current president handle, what's the word, confirmation and allowance of these goals. So, for example, Fox could handle legislation, handling states, people, and how things act. Sky Shatter could handle economy, being a relatively richer nation with the second most players on the party. Reform could be handling certain things such as events, just as Pentagonal proposed during his debate, saying he did want to have certain events on the server, possibly for fun and such. Sauce Dude being he's in charge of a lot so far, and I feel like he'd be able to handle moderation well, and everything else would go through the final party, who would handle all the miscellaneous such as in certain degrees. So basically, everything that our main parties don't hold, they would handle all the rest, and everything would eventually go through Domino, being that you're not the broke boys. In fact, you hold the most important job.
I think the roles would need to be assigned slightly later,
Yeah, I do
but
agree
that is
with
a good
that, but
idea.
I'm already,
I
like,
believe like
dedicated
certain.
debate mod, so,
Sure. Well, actually, I forgot to mention building. Is your team good at building? Your party?
Well, given that we've already created the bar, I have just built this little room for us. We have also created the giant fucking drill that mines out chunks, and have
I haven't
created
seen any of this.
if it's huge. Hierarchy. And also have created essentially the sewers or the beginnings of them. I think that our team is in fact quite good at building and generally is also economy focused. Yeah, we are good at building. We are the Builders League United, after all.
Well,
I can't. Or,
we haven't really been involved in economy so far. Sky Shatter does handle more. We handle more militarized and economic topics. I've been recently discussing with some of my team members, not all of them, but some of my team members, um, which like stores and areas and events to bring up more economy into the server we should use for economy. Along with this, due to create cannons, we'd be mostly in charge of militarization around the area due to my previous experience with the mod and our high power, along with a lot of the weaponship that we already had and many members that have high access to high tier weaponry. Along with that, I feel MDF would be the best choice for legislative agreements, mostly involving around her states and her ideas for just handling more political ideals. Overall, we would be together in a more groupish situation, and I'll go through Domino to decide these ideals, but her handling them and states in general would be the best pick, along with handling events due to his higher energetic personality and feverish ideals, which actually aren't too bad.
Thank you.
Yeah,
I feel like
support
that would be really well decided.
I can't speak for the rest of my party because I hardly speak with the rest of my party because we're hardly a party. But I'm pretty good at like building and decorating interiors of buildings. I think
Yeah, same.
I don't know if you've seen my bedroom. I think it's pretty cozy and cute. You see, if we wouldn't have the Noble Plus reference and the Squid Games reference if we got rid of the Squid Party. So the Squid Party has to stay. All right.
And
That
plus,
is
you'd
true.
probably join SSI because
I would
I'm
probably
his
join
favorite.
SSI because I've been like the biggest like SSI meat rider this whole like time. But before I was glazing NBF, but whatever. Yeah. I would probably merge into SSI if I had to, but
Yeah.
I don't know what my party
If I'm-
thinks, but I don't care.
If I'm being honest, I've got like nothing else to say.
Is there any other topics anyone wants to bring up? And if not, we should probably get to some voting based on the ideas that we brought around today and see
Yes.
which parties disagree and agree, and just one final summary of the whole meeting.
I think we should. Craftocracy should end birthright citizenship.
I think we should also sign legislation preventing us from building create windmills over bodies of water.
We need to
I think we
deport
should,
all the cracked players.
Actually,
we should
there
open
was
to-
a minor suggestion from the BLU members, actually, just over here. So, man. There was a suggestion of creating a railroad train track connecting every nation and state and major settlement, etc., for ease of use and ease of travel.
I have stuff to add to that. So
Yeah, please do.
yeah, I've tried starting up an organization for it a few times. It's never really gone anywhere, but like me and some other people have like had vague ideas for like a subway type system for a while. And that is something I'm very interested in helping with the construction with or leading the construction or whatever, because I think trains are cool and are objectively the coolest transportation method.
Support that.
Way cooler than just building a bunch of roads and having like fucking cars and shit, because that shit's cringe.
Yeah, I second that. I second that.
Yeah. Big public transport guy. My governor is actually Satan. She does not agree with my sentiment, but you know.
Yeah.
Does anyone here
I'm just
fuck
gonna say
with
that
Limp
if
Bizkit?
it is agreed upon, BLU will help, and well, if BLU wants something to be built, BLU gonna fucking build it.
Just something I want to add. I did make a proposal for a next legislative meeting, which combines a beer mod with a car mod. I just want to say that cars are going to be outshined, but I just want something for like an optional thing, because like something I was planning on doing was like strudel cart minigame, which could also really fit in with CC's event theme for reform, and something like a strudel cart, like a go-kart type thing, just a mini game for fun. Or for example, my area, my MSC, we may actually have some car transportation, but it's going to be completely optional and it shouldn't throw off a balance. So it's just mainly something for like mini games and stuff. So that's my I just want to add that there, because I do feel like planes and trains would be much better transportation wise, but we can still do some fun things like with cars, like racetracks and strudel kart, you know what I mean? It's Mario Kart.
Well, it would be very funny and somewhat realistic.
Wee!
If that is the preview, I will die. Yeah. Well, I think we should get to voting. Thank you, Marcy.
I feel like you'd actually, before voting,
What are we voting on? We're not.
We're
This
gonna
isn't a
go over the-
You should
legislative.
read the name of the item there.
This
I
is
did.
just. We're
I
just
did.
discussing things. We're not voting on.
this is
Well,
between
voting for the
us.
actual
This is
mod.
between
Voting
us.
be-
This
Okay,
is
between
between
us.
us whether we're in agreement or not with some stuff.
I know, but you
I
mentioned.
feel like you should save that for a legislative
actually
meeting so we
getting to the
don't
votes
waste
for
too
the-
much time. Just my take.
Fair enough.
I mean, it would
Fair
just
enough.
be good to see if we all agree on certain topics that are more larger and could be put into effect quicker.
Yeah, but
Uh,
you can go more in depth on.
I think we should go through
discussions.
this fast because I was in like a really fire Krita session earlier, and I'm trying to get back to that. So, but
And I've
yeah.
got a
Alright.
party primary, so I
Well,
can,
I'll go rapid fire for this. So, all in favor of the mods that were brought up, create big cannons, and Ad Astra for later uses, create railways and trains, and the combining of create that one, the crossover mod between create and Harvester's Delight, and then Harvester's Delight, Farmer's Delight. Are we all in agreement for that?
Sure.
Those
Yeah.
mods being added
Yes.
to the server?
I didn't hear all that,
Okay,
but yes,
yeah.
I support it.
Fox
Unanimous.
states legislative idea to give each nation their own state and possibly allow certain lore campaigns such as imperialism.
Sure.
We love
we all agree for that?
imperialism.
I
Is
think if
everyone
it's
in agreement
done
with that?
wrong, it could probably end up being
Um,
like annoying. But if it's just like some lore shit, then yeah, I'm cool with it.
Actually,
Okay.
to the state idea, I want to add that each state might have like a capital city, which they will expand, so that there's actual some like stakes. It's like a cool building,
Mhm.
like pretty big build, pretty cool, where members can actually like live and have farms, etc., so on and so forth.
Okay. Are we all in agreement to the districts idea that I had brought up earlier today? Where each party would have their own district
It
to
depends.
manage, such as events,
I'll-
economy, and such.
I'll have to
Yeah.
come up with a conclusion during the legislative meeting, so I'll just leave it
Yeah.
on the 50-50.
I will have to think harder on that later.
Okay. So I heard one person, I agree with it myself, so. Okay. Whoever brought up any other topics, could you bring those up, please? I don't remember everything. Bring
Believe
up your
not.
topics, please.
Space, astrospace, rocket,
I
moon,
brought that up.
ship.
I brought
Shit.
that up. I
Giving
brought that up.
giving
I
all
brought
of
that
the
up.
server's resources to me so I can build a gunpowder farm.
Genius. The furniture mods, were they added?
Yeah.
All of the furniture mods.
Sure.
Yes. Yes.
Mhm.
Yes.
Yeah,
Um,
let's add them.
And of course,
Maybe.
the alcoholism mod.
No, actually, yeah, no, you're my favorite judge, so sure.
Koi.
Yes.
Oh, thank you. And of course, the alcoholism mods and the driving mods. Separate, but
Okay,
separate
driving
because we don't need
mods-
them to be together.
Driving mods not as much, but I feel like certain driving mods that allow drifting and such for Pence events, yes.
Yeah,
Overall, for a
yeah.
big driving mod,
Oh,
it
yeah,
doesn't
yeah,
need
I
to be
agree.
added simply because of, well,
For one,
this in my hand.
for one I'm passing, automobility has drifting, so that's all I need to know.
Yeah, drifting can be used for races, drag races, and events, and generally to be cool, and of course to have the option to ride a car. Actually, maybe somebody wants it for style points or something.
Petition to have people who have VR do drunk driving on the server.
Oh, I got VR. Oh, let's
I
go.
can
Yeah,
try.
I can do it. Oh, you got a headset too?
I can try, but I
Sweet.
don't think that's gonna be a good look.
Hey, what out of the party members
Gale,
here
we should have a
VR?
drunk driving race across the server.
I don't run candidates, so I can do as much terrible behavior as I want with no electoral consequences.
I'm gonna be running a lot of military. You know what? Go to the next topic and ignore my existence for stuttering like that.
Fire department as like an emergency in case something bad happens.
So is who is in support of the alcohol mod?
Me.
I am.
I think
Shishi,
we should
CC,
find an
you said
alternative.
your.
Or a
I,
big question on the alcohol mod.
Okay.
Actually.
Who is
No.
for
Huh?
the alcohol
Huh?
mod strictly? Who's strictly for the
Okay.
alcohol mod and not?
I do need some
Mm.
clarification on that.
Okay, and who is for the alternative to the alcoholism
Huh?
mod?
I will say I would. Can we find an alternative first before that gets added?
No.
Fair enough. Well, yeah, let's find an alternative to the alcoholism mods and bring it up on the next meeting.
Actually, wait.
Yes.
One thing. The one I suggested in my drunk driving bill, Alcocraft. It's an alcohol mod, but a lot of the stuff, like, and let me pull it up. It's really like fictional in the sense, like, for example, you have mug of magnet poser of Never Porter, mug of Never Star Lager. So it's still an alcohol mod, but it's more Minecraft orientated, which is really interesting.
CC, would that be fitting?
Yeah, something more fictional would be a lot better. Because it is admittedly kind of weird to see your favorite character
No, that's fair,
swig
that's fair.
down a bottle of Bud Light.
No,
Okay,
yeah,
but
my
like
char-
it's in character for me to drink vodka.
My character is
And then again,
canonically
it's
dead,
in
so
character for
drinking
me to
it
be an
is
drink
imperialist.
vodka. Honey, you can drink fantasy vodka. So who supports Penn's mod?
I am
Sure, why
in
not?
relatives. I see Morgan in the chat. Dexter Morgan.
Fair enough. Well, I support it personally. So that's what, 3 out of 6 or 4?
Probably, yeah. Unless you want that.
Okay.
There's not like white claws in that mod, is there? Because that'd be kind of fun.
Fair enough. Let's make that like 3.5, I guess. So more of a yes than no. But not still fully decided. So yeah, we should probably maybe decide that separately on a more of a agreement basis out of meeting later because we're running out of time. Does anybody have anything else to add?
Nope.
Nuh-uh.
CC? Is the writing down? Marcy, anything to add?
Nope.
Okay.
Let's just take
and
the
CC?
photograph and get this shit done with.
Yeah. So CC, anything else you want to add? You wanna add? CC might be dead.
Yeah, let's get a photograph done.
Yeah, okay, let's get the photo with your big ass hat.
The roof's too low. It
Do
should
a
be
flip.
bigger. Do a flip.
Hey Pent, we should totally count down to 3 and do a flip.
Bet.
Hey Pent,
Mic
1,
delay.
2, 3. Do a flip.
Do a flip.
You know, I love how Box is floating above us.
I think this meeting was a success, to say the least.
Went a lot better than
Do I have to do like an outro or like? Are we...
We should play
it's not really
Minecraft.
worth it.
We should play like
Done.
2014 outro music real quick.
All right. My name is Pete
Also,
Buttigieg. That is all we have tonight. Thank you for watching.
I was
Play it in. Gale, add in TDM's outro music
play
quickly.
Penn's song. Play Penn's song. Play Penn's song.
No.
Do not play that.
Play all these individuals.
No.
Oh, thanks,
No.
Dad. Well, shit.
No.
Yeah.
I actually needed to discuss something with him after
He
this
is
meeting.
technically our ally, so that does get you in trouble slightly. Yeah, play Fire by Fat Rat.
I think we should play the that one song.
Well, either way, if there is a VOD, we can probably add it on the VOD.
Holy 14 players.
This is stupid.
Wait,
And
hold
not
on. What's
a
our tick
single
speed at?
APC representative.
13.
18. 16.
Oh, our
Boy, I
TPS.
sure.
Tick
Boy,
speed is
I
at
sure
base,
do
isn't it?
love my 13 TPS.
Yep, it's fun.
Are we at 13? We're at 19 TPS.
Are we still?
It's fluctuating like a lot.
Why are we still streaming?
It's
Maybe for
somewhat
you.
stable, honestly. It's handling it
Set it
quite well, actually.
Pretty solid 20 TPS for me.
Yeah, roughly. Plus minus.
Anyway,
the port was not doing well.
Do you accept the proposal?
Marcy, we're married.
Is someone getting married?
Yay!
We already were.
Someone is. Great.
I'm gonna yoink my chair, though. This is my chair now.
I'm living in your walls now.